All right, welcome back to my secret series for now. I go public on the 25th, where I am going to start a new job. So I want to be as good as I can be from day one. And for me, that means brushing up on network automation. So it looks like that's my old lab for the JNCI ESP series. I just did a video on that. So let me bring up the Kindle book that I'm working through and then the GNS3 lab. Yep, so Kindle Cloud Reader, getting used to using these. Normally I like to use physical books, but they take up a lot of space in your house. They're a little bit more expensive on Amazon. They take time to actually get there through the mail. So there's just all sorts of good reasons to use electronic books over paper books. The only downside to using them is you can't mark them up. It's harder to save your space where you left off. Lots of kind of downsides. But so far I've been having a pretty good time using this Kindle Cloud Reader. The only thing I really don't like is you can't copy and paste from it. It's probably like a copyright thing. They don't want you stealing the book. And then it's a little bit kind of leaves to be desired with the notes and stuff. It's not perfect, but the fact that they even have it is a big plus for me. And so far it has been very usable. I would even say I would be more than comfortable just using this instead of paper books, kind of for learning IT stuff, which is of course very important for me to do as I am an IT professional. So my traditional way I did it is I just went to school and I bought the books that they told me to buy, paper books. But as I go on in my career, and I continually do that for every new thing I'm going to need to learn, I'm going to have so many books. And then, so I really think the way forward is just to buy a Kindle book from Amazon for $15, go through it and call that good. And then, and yeah, so, okay. So where I left off last, I was trying to go through this example, but I needed a Nexus switch in order to do that. So I went to the GNS database of images, where it can give you to a link where you can download an image without having to worry about violating any sort of fair use or anything like that would invalidate your certs. So through that manner that is approved by Cisco, which unfortunately I can't really share how I did that. I certainly can't give you just straight up give the image that I'm using now, but I have a Nexus now that I can use to run this example. So let's see here. So it looks like they're going to have they're going to have two Aristas, and then they're going to have two Ciscos. I'm actually not sure what's going on here. So they have Ubuntu, Nexus, and then Nexus by name. Yep, so these are just examples. These aren't playbooks that they're actually going to run. Here they're just discussing variables. So this isn't a playbook they're going to run either. Yeah, so they don't have any output for us to look at. Here they do have output for us to look at. So this is going to be Cisco_2, and they're showing us the output, and then there will be some for Cisco_3 as well. So let's try to get those two to work. Those are the ones that require the Nexus, I believe. So let's try to get Cisco_2 to work and Cisco_3. So let's see here. So this is Cisco_1. Let's see where Cisco_2 starts. And I read all this in the last video. I did all the reading. I just couldn't get the examples to work without having a Nexus device. All right, so let's go ahead and, so to use the variables in the inventory file instead of declaring them in the playbook, let's add the group variables for Nexus by name in the host file. So I think they have a lab set up the way they described it here. Yeah, in this chapter, yep. But obviously they're using 172 addresses in their hosts file. So I'm really not sure what this lab topology is for, because you can see they're all 192 addresses, but they're using 172 addresses in the hosts file. So clearly that's not a lab that is aligning with the hosts file. So I'm not sure what that lab was for. I never used it, but let's just try to figure out what they want in Cisco_2 here. So that's the playbook. So I guess it'd be nice to know what the host file is going to look like. So I think it's just going to look, yeah, it's just going to look like this. So let's set that up. All right, so we got our control server ready. All right, so let's see what the host file looks like. There's a default host file in etc Ansible hosts that has a lot more settings in it that you can uncomment, things that are ready to go for you, where you don't have to make everything by default. It's there by default and you can use it by default. But you can also make your own host, custom host file, because when you run an Ansible script, you can do a -i, and the I stands for inventory, and you can give it a custom host file that contains your inventory that you want. You do have to follow the appropriate syntax of the host file, but the Ansible documentation has that. Okay, so here's the hosts folder. So yep, it looks like it aligns what they said in the documentation here. So let's see if we can set up the lab to be something that this hosts file can connect to. So let's just clean up all the other devices that are no longer going to be necessary. So we are going to need the Ubuntu server. So we'll keep that. We aren't going to need the R1 anymore. And we won't need the VIOS, even though it's very interesting. I'm really glad I got some experience on that, because that's basically what it is you just have a computer, any computer you want. You have multiple ports on that computer. You load it up with the right hardware, and now you got a router, and you can run that OS and manage it as if it were a router or a switch, as long as you've got the appropriate hardware installed. It doesn't matter whether what kind of device it is. it's a OS you can use to manage it. Open source OS, not tied to a vendor at all. And then here's the Aristas. I really like the Aristas because they're so compatible with network automation. And then, of course, here's the Juniper, the king of network automation. They pretty much invented it all from the start. All right. So, but for this example, we're only going to need one Ubuntu server and then 2 Nexus devices. Oops. There we go. And then this stuff will go away eventually. Let's get another Nexus. Here it is. Okay, and then I notice, of course, that the Nexus, each Nexus is on the same subnet. So let's put a hub between the two so that we can have that setup work. We don't have to stray at all from what is in this file that was given to us by the author of this book. So the first device in here is going to be, let's see here. Well, let's just look at the version here because it's, yep. Yeah, so this Ubuntu box is going to be on its own subnet, but these two are going to be the same. So we'll have to put down a hub. Perfect. All right. Okay, so now, yep, we'll just use, well, let's use ENS1. And then let's give it internet connectivity. That's always useful. Oops, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so now this new Nexus hasn't been started yet. So we're going to need to start that by left clicking. There we go. I still use my trackpad, and this computer is kind of a budget laptop, so it's kind of dying now. I've had it for a number of years. I don't even have the original charger. I had to get a new charger for it. So the trackpad's a little bit kind of hard to use. You have to push really hard on it. All right, but hey, it's been working great. It's just noisy as heck, and sometimes it blanks out, but it's I think it's a bargain. All right, so let's open up these NXs. Well, first I'll check that this other Ubuntu server is configured correctly. I don't know what IP address is on it right now, so I'm just going to make sure it matches that host file. If anyone's curious, this is a yogurt drink. So I have a NutriBullet. All right. Okay, so yep, 192.168.2.122. So I think the other side is .1. Pig. Yep, so this is good to go. We just got to make sure those nexuses are ready. Oh, right. And it takes a long time for a Nexus to come up, unfortunately. Oh, it made it to the bootloader. That's not good. Failed to auto boot. I'll just try rebooting it. All right, and hopefully this one comes up good. Remember, it took a long time for it to boot up last time. Definitely far from ideal. GNS is really designed for Cisco gear, so if it's not a Cisco, run a little bit slower. Oh, well, this is a Cisco. This is a Cisco Nexus. But I think, I still think it won't run using Dynam IPs, the hypervisor that GNS uses. So it's basically as if it weren't a Cisco. I guess what I mean is Cisco iOS is what is optimized for Next. So this is Cisco Nexus. I'm not sure. We'll find out. I'll do a show run once it's up. Hopefully that other one is not having any problems. Oh, nope, it's still having problems. Well, there really wasn't any config on it. So I think I'm going to delete it and then just add another one. All right, so hopefully this one will start to wake up, but it looks like this one's going. So yeah, this is taking a long time. I think I'm going to, yeah, I think I'm going to pause the video just so we don't have to sit and watch this. And then, oh shoot, now it's rolling back. That's not good. Yeah, so I'm gonna pause the video, come back to this when things are going better. Yeah, so I'll be back soon. I'll be back instantly because I'll just unpause. All right, so welcome back. I've got everything working. Oh, I think I might not have been sharing my screen before. Sorry for that. But I'm at the CLI of these two Nexus devices. So I'm going to need to set up an IP on them. So let's do a show version on this to see if it's Cisco iOS. So I thought that it wasn't. Yeah, it's Cisco Nexus operating system, NXOS. So there's iOS, there's NXOS, there's iOS XE, iOS XR, lots of different flavors. All right, so let's get an IP on there. So configure terminal, interface, Ethernet. And this is Ethernet 1. /1. IP address, or let's do a no switch port. There we go. And now IP address 172.16.142. Oh, 16.1.142. Oops, and we need a subnet mask. Just make it a /24. Perfect. No shuts. And then copy run start. All right, so now we can do ping 172.16.1.1. Oh, unreachable. So I think our control server doesn't have that set up. Aha, so it looks like it does, but let's see here. It's going to be ENS1. So ENS4 would be it. Let's check the subnet mask on it. Could be a /30. Nope, it's a /24. That's interesting. Okay, well, it's kind of what I thought. So why can't I ping that then? Oh, I can. Okay, it just took a little while to come up. Okay. All right, so let's keep moving. Okay, 172.16.1.143. And a /24. Oh, right. It's got to be a layer 3 interface. Right now it's a layer 2 interface. Oops, and it's going to be copy run start. There we go. So now all the devices in here are valid for this playbook. So let's set up the valid in this host file. So let's set up the playbook. All right, and this is going to be Cisco_2.yaml. Okay, so last time there was a bit of a confusion as to how the syntax of these playbooks, but I figured it out. It's going to start with 3 dashes, and then under there you have the name of the playbook, which, does that need to be indented too? I didn't think it did. But now underneath here, you've got to have indents if they belong here, or indentation matters in this file. Actually, I'm forgetting what the indentation is. So I'm going to pull up their GitHub. Yeah, so, and take a look at this example from there. So this is going to be, what chapter am I in? I don't even know. I think it's either chapter 3 or chapter 4. Aha, so it's chapter 4. So yep, everything looks good here. Oops. Oops. All right, so it typed out the script. Let's see if it runs and we get back the expected output. Oops, so a lot of errors happening here. I'm not sure. Okay, so we don't have SSH enabled on any of those hosts. Oh, but it looks like we've got more of a, yeah, we've got undefined variables as well. Oh, right, so we don't have these extra variables set up in our host file. Let's go and add that. Oh, we do have those extra variables set up in the host file. Okay, that's interesting. Why did it say that it didn't have those variables? So we got Nexus by name here. Oh, okay, so it looks like we are missing that. There we go. So there's Nexus by name. Perfect. So let's do Nexus by name bars. Username equals Cisco. Password equals Cisco. Perfect. Okay, so that should do it as long as we have SSH set up, which we don't. So it's 172. Let's do an IF config, pipe match, or sorry, pipe grep. Okay. Oh, but I forget. Oh, well, it's listed right there. So SSH Cisco at, we're going to get a connection refused because we don't have remote. Oh, what? Oh, okay. Well, I'm surprised that SSH is already set up, but we don't have that username and password set up. So let's do that. Oh, goddamn. Um, hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can change the complexity because I just want to use the insecure password. It's just a lab. Here we go. So min length, we'll make that 6. And now we'll be able to do username Cisco, password Cisco. Oh, Cisco's only 5, so we'll make it 5. All right, just type this in again because paranoid. Oops. Ah. Yeah, I'm sure there's a way to disable those. Well, maybe feature set. That could be it. There's also password, but let's try feature set. What about feature? And then is there like password? Yeah, feature password. Oh, so that's encryption. What about feature user pass? Um, hmm. Okay, so I mean, I guess I'll just take the path of least resistance and kind of what is better to do anyways. And instead of Cisco, I'll do Cisco, and then I'll do password, and then capital C1S, or C exclamation point SC0. Oops, it's too short. Oops. Okay, so let's do Cisco class. So username Cisco, password CISCOCLASS. Okay, so this is going to work. Okay, so let's do a end, copy, run start, and we'll just change up that file. I mean, we should be using secure passwords anyway. There's no sense in learning how to configure an insecure password. That's just a waste. There's no sense in knowing how to do that because you can just use secure passwords. All right. Okay. So we're going to need to edit that host file. We got a different password now. Okay, that looks good. So now we're going to need a username and password on the other Nexus. Perfect. We're all good to go. Okay, already looking a lot more promising. Don't have SNMP set up on the Nexus at all. So I wouldn't be surprised if it failed. Yep. So yeah, we're going to have to, I think, enable SNMP. All right. So hopefully there's better results now. Now that SNMP is set up to work. Oh, still a problem. Unexpected failure during module execution. Let's see the full traceback by using -bvv. Oops, so still, okay, but here's the full traceback. So what are we even trying to do? Let's see here. We're trying to, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what is going on here. I'm gonna have to cut the video. I think it's like really hot in here right now. It's probably like at least 80 degrees. So I'll just pause it and I'll go and put the air conditioner on. Okay, I'm back. It was 77. So sometimes it kind of sneaks up on you and gets pretty hot. So let's see here. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not working. I'm kind of surprised it's not working. So let's look at the script. Yeah, and this, as I said many times before, is another reason I really don't like Ansible, because what am I even doing? Like, what commands am I even sending to the device? It's hard to tell, but if I had something like Paramiko, like the commands would be right there. But here, I can't even tell what commands I'm trying to send. Is it in like a separate commands file they have us create? No, we had a playbook Cisco 1, and then we had a custom hosts file, but that didn't contain any commands. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I think I'm going to cut the video here. So stay tuned for the next one.